do it. It got done. So here we are. However, we need to bring in the Zoom. So give me a minute. Let me do what we do. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on. Okay, here we go. Yes, here we go. There we are. Y'all come on in. All right, it's our first live at 5. You know what I mean? People confused. Nobody know what's going on right now. Where's dog? It's 2:00. We're here at 5. We're here at 5. That's what. Everything is everything. So how y'all doing? Come on in. It's let me do the thing. Here we go. Okay. Well, good morning, good evening. What to do? How are you? Hootie hoo. Happy Saturday too. I am the sound of money in your ear. Doll Avant. That's still double O. I'm often imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion babe, aka the pitch queen, aka the people's coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the dollhouse. This is the home of the OGs. Over here, we're getting off the financial grid. There's no time. There's no more time to play around in these entrepreneurial streets. I need everybody to get right so you don't get left. You're gonna make money, just like you go in the kitchen, make a recipe, you pull the ingredients out, you do the thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like you get in your car, you hit the button, and it starts. If your car didn't start when you hit the button, you would be like calling somebody. If you woke up in the morning and the sun did not rise, it would be a problem. All right. Same way, you're supposed to make money in your business every day. So let us do our checklist today. I'm not going to be before you long. It's already Saturday evening, but in the spirit of the 100-day challenge, we can't not do this. So we're going to do it. We'll be back on regular time at 2:00 tomorrow, but I was outside today, so I could only do so much at one time. So theoretically, I'm supposed to have, a crew and or devices where I could do this from anywhere, but I wasn't set up for that today. And plus we didn't get out before 2 anyway. So let me pull up what I wanted to share with you guys so we can go ahead on. It don't take much. Don't take much to get your money. All right. Now, we were talking about this yesterday. We need some clarity around who we're serving, what we're selling. We can't be all over the place. I got this, but also I have this, but also I do this, and also I do this. We need to focus. I need everybody to lock in. You know what I mean? I need you to lock in. So shout out to y'all for being here on Saturday afternoon. And technically, I should put something in the WhatsApp and tell people I'm on here, but I'm not. I'm just not. Nope. But I see you streaming and on the Zoom as well. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, so we're talking about the specificity. We're talking about Denzel Washington. He said, the universal stems from the specific. The more specific you are, the more you're going to be able to appeal and have more reach with more people. Okay, so it's counterintuitive. Most people think they need to be everything for everybody. No. This is what we do. And the more specific you are, the more other people are going to come and attach their own meaning to what you build. They build a narrative around your product, service, or solution. So you want to be very, very specific. I help this kind of person go from this very specific problem state with all of this specific problem language to this solution state. That's what I do. And the more you talk like that, I taught it today where I was, y'all. I taught the elevated 5-star pitch, the inverted 5-star pitch, the quick, 30, 45 seconds, get in there and get out. And the whole room exploded. It was like a bomb dropped in the room in the best way possible. They were like, oh, what is this sorcery? You know what I mean? It's just like, this is how you talk about your work. If you can't speak in 30, 45 seconds to tell somebody what you do, that makes them, first of all, understand what you said. I still got people talking about using all the biggest words they can find to describe their work. And as many years as I've taught this, I don't know why people haven't caught it. You have never heard me say, except when I'm explaining to you what it actually is. I invented the world's first singular layer perceptron. We have the only machine learning, this algorithm. Don't nobody care. I said, we tell you what's in your water. Same way you could check your weather. You know, you check your weather app. Yes, you could check water quality. That is how I talk about my work. So we got to do the same thing. Very specific, very clear, not trying to show somebody how smart we are and all of that. So every time, every day, every week that goes by that you don't have clarity around your brand and your content is not saying that same message, you're actually, it's like paying a tax. You call it the invisibility tax, because nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows your narrative. Nobody knows what you got going on. You're losing money. It's costing you money when you do that. So that's what we're here to shift. Okay. So I don't care what you're doing. If you're having an event, if you are starting a new program or campaign, or you have a cohort that you want to fill up, in June or in August, and you start the campaign now, you have to be so specific in the language that you use to talk about it, so that whoever it is that you want them to come, they should see themselves in the language. They should feel seen. Because why? We build mirrors, not billboards. So once you learn this skill, y'all, this is why you ever met not the fake ones, not the ones who just run around with printing out business cards and going to Kinko's and doing all that. I'm the CEO of this and this and that, and you ain't making no money. No, I'm not talking about them. The people who make a lot of money. I know somebody who's one of my coaches. He has literally 40, 50 different companies that he's responsible for, these employees and stuff like that. People who are actually making money, they take this skill set that I'm teaching and then they just apply it to other things. I'm gonna go sell this, I'm gonna go do this, I can do that, because they know how to read opportunity. They know how to see what's coming in. This is good, this is not good. They make decisions at the speed of money. They hire somebody who also can embody that energy, tell them to go run it, bring me back the reports. I know what I'm looking for. I can run my business by the numbers. So when you're able to do that, you can make all types of money. You can have events going, you can do this, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? This business is supposed to run on autopilot so that you can go do something else. The one that you're building right now. You can create some jobs and get you some AI to get running and rolling, get you some partnerships, and go do something else. And it's going to keep running without you. That is the actual point of all of this. So that's why we got to learn these skills, because once you learn it here, you can apply it in here. Now, if you have any kind of messaging that's not clear, if I hit your page or your website or your form or whatever, and it's about you and not me, when I land on your page, guess what I'm going to do? Bounce off. So people who were ready to buy but couldn't figure out exactly what you do, you're paying a tax. When you got content that, okay, it's cool, but it's not really just she's talking right to me, because the algorithm didn't know who it was for real, because it was too generic, because you were trying to be everything to everybody, that's a tax. When you don't get a referral because they're like, yeah, well, my friend, she's in that space, but I don't really know what she does. Every time somebody says that about you, when you're not there, you're paying a tax. It's expensive. It's high. Taxes are high. So a lot of people are going through this in their business and they're thinking, oh, my luck it's not working out for me. Timing, the market's bad. I'm in my slow season. No. I need some money so I can hire a marketing agency so somebody can run my social media. No. If we get this narrative, this brand, this content so sharp, that it will cut through the noise and nobody's confused about who you are, what you do, or why they should care, and why it matters, you don't have no problems. You don't have money problems. It's not real. None of that is real. Okay? So, today, this is what I need you to think about. The answer should be a resounding yes. We're at day 80 right now. It should be absolutely, it's not a question, of course, duh. But I want to know, if somebody who didn't know you, just met you now, were to go and look at your content that you are posting on social media for 60 seconds, what would they say that you do? And who would they say that you do it for? My people I just left right now, nobody's confused what I do and why it matters and who it's for. Every time you open your mouth to speak, everything, every page, every one pager, everything, every piece of content, it has to be crystal clear. Okay? So if the person would hit your page and they would say, I'm not sure what they do, it seems like quite a few things that they do. This is where we got to figure it out. Even if all those things are working in your company, I don't need anybody to hit our page and now they're confused and they don't know what to do. We need them to hit the page and know exactly what to do. So even if you updated your website and done this, let's do it again. We want to keep iterating and getting better and better and better until it's absolutely a flawless, repeatable, scalable system that works for your audience. Okay? So that they feel good about, using your website, clicking your links, doing whatever action you're asking them to take, and most importantly, telling other people about you. Thank y'all for joining me at 5 o'clock. This is crazy. But we didn't miss a day, did we? Hot 100-day challenge every single day. Okay, so this is what we want to do. We got to get very, very specific. It's not that you got to get rid of all your other products and all your other ways that you can serve the community. But I need us to zoom in. We got to become famous for something, for this one good thing. I want you to be so well known in your space for this one thing that you do. Okay? So decide what that is. And let's laser focus. Let's go for another 100 days after this one is over. Let's go for a campaign or 6 weeks or whatever, where we talking about that one thing for this audience, for this kind of person, and very specific. And what action do you want them to take? And you're telling stories, and you're doing this, and you're doing that, and you're doing this, and all of that, so that you solve the 7-11-4 equation for a subsegment of people who are very, very clear about that one thing. You got to get that plate spinning. Y'all have heard me say this over and over again. We want plate spinning. I need that plate to spin. Then you can come back and let's do the next thing that you want to reintroduce or launch, or however you want to think about that. Okay? But you got to tell the market, this is who I am. This is the product that I solve. It's not that you can't have options. You know what I'm saying? You can have small, medium, and large. You can have the blue color, the red, whatever, you can have options. But it should be one thing that you're known for, one problem that you're solving, and one profile that you're solving it for. Okay? And then the people on the other side of that who have that problem, they see themselves in that profile, they know you're the place to go for this. I don't have to be confused. And that's why I like a lot of you guys, you're doing work that is really, who else does that? Nobody else really kind of does that. And so it's like you can own the space immediately. Once they know what you do, it's like, oh, when I want, where am I going to go as a Black man for healing and community? Oh, now I know. There's no competition. You're one of one. Where do I go as a woman over the age of 35 and find zest for life? Well, that's not a thing. Well, now it is. And now I know where to go for community. So the clearer that is, the more you're going to see traction. Okay, so really get focused. Out of all the things that you offer, find a way to make it one storyline. one through line, and you're going to go hard in the paint on that story. Okay, this is about narrative. They have to know you for something. So when they leave, when I just left there and I told a story about Moonjug, I didn't mean to. They asked me. By the time I finished telling the story, 20 other people are about to hear that story today and tomorrow, because they're going to go repeat what I said. So you got to be known for one thing. Can't be, oh yeah, and also this, and also that, and also this, and also that. Is one story. You know what I'm saying? So the more specific you are, you're tapping into abundance. Okay, this is where abundance comes from. Okay, if you can do that in everything you post, everywhere you show up, all your content, guess what's going to happen? They're going to save it. They're going to screenshot it. They're going to take pictures of it. They're going to tell somebody, I get to text somebody immediately. This is exactly what we were looking for. Exactly. The more specific you are, the more they feel like it's just what they need. Nothing else will do. This is it. If you come vague, oh, I have this, and I have this, and I can do this, but I can also do this, but we also do this. And by the way, we do this too. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, well, I mean, something about AI, but I don't know what they do for it. So they don't take an action. Okay. I'm not going to stop saying it. I need everybody to get that out of your brain. You are not for everybody. Specific, constrained, narrow. They said broad is the road that leads to destruction. Narrow is the way that leads to life. You got to get on the straight and the narrow. Put some limits on your brand. This is what we do here. Okay. So let's figure it out. We're going to create this system just to audit what you already have. Hopefully it's already happening because you've been showing up on social and doing the thing. Okay. And like I said, shout out to y'all for streaming on a Saturday at this time of day. I hope you got some sun. Okay, listen. Most people, when they're building a brand, they start with that vision statement. You know what I'm saying? These programs that I told y'all to stay out of, these entrepreneurship programs, they tell you to write a vision statement, what you aspire to, what we could become, the possibilities, the mission statement, and all of this. And it gets all vague and fluffy. I got to go through these one pagers of the place that I went to today. I'm being consulted to get them together. And when I tell you the one pagers is full of vague and fluffy and abstract, generic language that somebody told them sounded intelligent. And it does, but don't nobody know what that means. So I could immediately forget about you. It's not going to make me want to, okay, take that, put it in this pile, call them immediately. That's not going to make a CEO stop what they're doing and say, hey, who is that? Which is that? Which one is that? Oh, this is such and so. Call them right now. Do they have a phone number on there? Yes. Send them an email immediately. You know the one that's going to get that reaction? The specific one, not the big, we help the world to do this and do. We don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so 5 questions. Let's just do an audit to see if your brand and how you talk about your brand has some clarity. Okay, for real. If you got a piece of paper, this is the time to pull it out. Journal, let's go. We're probably going to get off in an hour or less, because that's what I intended for you, especially at this time. When I go live at 5, I want to be in, be out. You can go ahead, get your dinner, go ahead, walk, still get you some sunshine, but I'm here to change your life and business. So entrepreneurship is not a goal that we set for ourselves. It is a game that we're going to learn how to play and win. We got to develop some skills so we can play the game and win. G stands for gut check. A stands for audit. M stands for mimic the masters. E stands for execute. So today is an audit. Here are 5 brand questions I want you to ask yourself to make sure that you're not trying to be all things to all people in your brand, in your branding, in your packaging, in your on your website, on your one pager, everywhere you show up, everything that's external facing, anything that anybody can see. Listen, you can have a big vision. You can have all that. You could be doing all type of things. You could be in your notebook, you know, your personal journal and stuff. You can say, one day I want to do this, and one day I want to be over here, and one day I want to have da. You could write all that down. But in your public facing documentation, we got to get very surgical. Okay, so here we go. 5 questions. Number 1, What decisions have you made? What do you mean decisions, dog? Decision etymology comes from a root word that means to cut off. That means I have more than one option and I'm cutting one of them off. When I cut something off, when you get in a relationship and you say, I'm with this person, you're now cutting off all the other ones. I made my decision. I'm going this way. When you're at a fork in the road, you got to pick one. You make a decision. The other one is now cut off. Whatever was on that other road, we're not going that way, at least not right now. So what decisions have you made about who you serve, how you're going to show up for them, what you charge, what are you offering? The choices that define people's experience with your brand, anything that you haven't decided yet, I need y'all to decide. So when I say, what's your offer ladder? What are the steps that somebody goes to from, I just met you right now, to I'm paying hundreds of thousands of whatever your core offer is, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars with you. What's the path that you set for somebody to walk from I just met you now to that? What is your free experience for them? What is something they can just buy for $25, $100, just right quick? What's something that's recurring or something that's your signature thing that you sell where they locked in and they, and then anything else you want to sell? What does that journey look like? Have you made decisions about what that pathway should be for your audience? Or are you still kind of in the theoretical? I just want to meet people and I'm just in the hustle and, they'll find me. And no. What decisions are you making? That's number one. And that should be reflected, like I said, in your branding, in your marketing. These are words I don't use. In the language that's on your page, on your everything, it should be very, very clear. This is who we are. This is what we do. You can work with us like this, this, and this. You want to get started, go here, then you go here, you go here. Here's my framework, but boop, boop, boop. It shouldn't be no questions. I need some of these decisions to be made. How much you charge? I still got people in the doghouse telling me, I'm not sure what to charge for this. What do you mean? You need to go talk to more humans. If you had enough Afro conversations, you would know how much to charge because you would get through the aspirations and the frustrations. You would tell them your framework. They would reflect back to you. Yes, this is what we need. Absolutely. And then you say, sounds like it's an opportunity for us to work together. And you say, we have a program. We charge $1,000. And you will get either, where do I sign? Or you're going to get, I need that, but that's high. And so then you have a decision to make. Do I go talk to another set of different type of people? Or do I change the price because every time I talk to this profile of people, they say, I want it, but that price is too high. These decisions need to be made in your business. Dundada. You got to go. You got to move at the speed of money. Money is speeding up. Money's speeding up. We got to speed up. 5 questions. Number 2, what are you saying no to? Certain clients, certain offers, certain opportunities, I could go to this conference. I could be on this stage. I could stand around outside and look around platforms that are not for you. Even though it seems like an opportunity, it seems like it might be some revenue. No, you got to say no to some things. What are you saying no to? We have a minimum. We have an order minimum. Oh, yeah, no, I can't afford. Oh, well, I'll keep you on my list when we'd love to serve you whenever you're able. This is our minimum because it's not worth it for me to do all this work. And we have a minimum. You got to start saying no to some things. Okay. If you have less than that, you're going to have to pay all this shipping and all this overhead and all of it. You have to pay all of those costs too. Oh, I don't want to pay that. Well, then do the minimum. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Say no to some things. I went in that room today and I told these people, I said, I don't come outside often, but when I do, somebody's life going to get changed. I don't know. And the lady literally came up to me and said that. You're part of my awakening. You helped me see things I didn't know, all of this. But she was sincere. She was sincere about it. Because I say no. I don't just pull up in a room. Oh, it's something going on. I'm running. We're not on that part anymore. I want y'all to rise. We're graduating. We're elevating. So I don't go to every room. I don't take every offer, every opportunity, every platform. No. Okay. So what are you saying no to? That's number 2. 5 questions. Question number 3. What are you deliberately leaving out? So there's certain, for example, audiences. I know that I teach, at Harvard and wherever, as a public speaker, I want to be on corporate stages. I know that my audience is full of people from all around the world. But when I'm making my content and I'm building this platform and I'm being intentional, I'm not talking to nobody except the people that look like me. Melanated, copper skin, people of the earth, people of the sun, period. So I'm deliberately leaving out all these other audiences. I'm not talking to y'all. What topics are you leaving out? What services that you could do, but that's not really what we do. We're not doing that. Leaving that out. Write it down if you have to, because I don't want anybody here chasing the money and letting clients and fake opportunities pull you out of scope. You have to build an engine on what you do. This is what we do. I'm scaling this. Get this plate spinning first. Then you can come back and see, because it's probably a totally different business model. You got to show up differently. You got to talk about it differently. It's a different way to deliver the operations are different. The cost structure is different. Profit margin is different. It's a different business. I need us to laser focus. Getting a community of people to become members and pay you as individuals on a monthly basis for content and experiences and community is completely different from building an audience of hundreds of thousands of tens of thousands of people and having corporate sponsors pay you for access to that audience. Totally different business model. You can't do everything out the gate, especially with no resources and we don't have the capacity for all of that. So what are you deliberately leaving out? There's certain topics I'm not going to talk about. It's like meme coins. Y'all notice when I taught The Great Escape, I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying you can't make money doing that. I don't teach that. It's certain things I don't teach in the dollhouse. It's not because I don't know. We don't do that. We don't do that here. Certain audiences, certain services. No, I'm not finna write you a business plan. No. And I used to do that. I've done it for years. I'm not writing business plans for, send me $3,000 and then I'll write you. No. Even though everybody thinks they need a business plan, I could pimp a lot of people. There's a lot of people pimping out here. I don't do that. I'm giving you what I know you need. Okay. So what are you deliberately leaving out? 5 questions. That was number 3. Number 4, what are you against? This is a big one. Y'all hear me talk all the time. There's certain methods, there's certain philosophies, there's certain approaches in your specific industry that you are absolutely not. We're not doing that. We put the water in glass. Over here, we don't do plastic. No, it's not happening. The whole industry does it. Absolutely not. And I can tell you why. I can tell you the reasons, the health, all of that, the planet. So I'm diametrically opposed to certain things. You know what I'm saying? I talk about the meatballs and alcohol and how they got y'all running to all these networking events. Ain't nobody making no money. I'm diametrically opposed to that. I said what I said. You can get with this, or you can go over there and run around and mess up your good shoes and burn out all your gas. You decide. What are you against? There's certain things, certain methods, certain ways, there's certain corners I'm not cutting. I'm not, absolutely not. This is what makes you different from everybody else. You're not trying to be like everybody else. You're not trying to make it so that everybody feels comfortable. No, somebody gonna feel uncomfortable, get upset with me, and jump out the dollhouse. Yes, this is not for everybody. This is for my 100 families who are not playing about this, who understand that they have programmed us to think that it was normal to wake up, go to school, get a job, work for 45 years, 47 years, and then hope the stock market is up at your time of it. It's like the lotto. And then retire and do what? Go play golf and like go to Las Vegas or something until you die. And they told us that's what life is. And if you don't have that, it's something wrong with you. And I'm like, yeah, no. I'm not normalizing that. What are you against? What do you stand for? Stand for something means you're standing against something. What do you stand against? Question number 5. What is it that you will never be? Never. It's kind of the same thing as question 4. This is what we're not going to do. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not going to just be like, oh my God, yay. You have a great business idea. I'm going to tell you. If that ain't it, that ain't it. I will never lie to you. I will never pimp you just so I can get a corporate check. I told you ADP offered me $250,000. That is $250,000 to access this WhatsApp group. And it ain't even 250 people in here. But they wanted all your data and all your information. And they wanted to send a spy. They didn't call it that, but that's what it was. To get into WhatsApp and see what y'all talking about. See what kind of businesses y'all running. See what y'all got going on. And I told them, no, I will never pimp my people. They got a dream of entrepreneurship. And I'm over here playing this little game that all these people at all these conferences y'all keep running to. That's what they're doing to y'all. I'm not doing it. So what is it that you will never be? The more clear you are about this, the more you'll attract the people who, I'm telling you, these people, they chased me down the parking lot again today. I mean, I think I have safety concerns now, but in the best way possible. Like, they literally were just like, oh my God, like, dog, like, oh my God. You want people to feel something when you finish talking about your work. Whoever it's for, not the other people. It's not for them, but the ones who it's for, they should be like, oh yeah, no. I mean, the man, they were interrupting the man. He was trying to talk. I told y'all, if you stand up and do your, I taught them the inverted 5-star pitch in about 15 minutes. The man came back up after I sat down. He tried to talk. They writing down, they passing notes, they writing down the name and phone number. Dog, please, how can I be involved? How can I get the WhatsApp? And they leaning and passing. I'm like, y'all disrupting. The man is still talking. Did nobody care? They jumping up. I told you, they do the church finger. They jumping up. They just bend down next to your chair. Just, now, girl, how can I get with what you got? You better learn how to talk about your business, y'all. You won't have to worry. Okay. So what decisions have you made? Seriously, who do you serve? How do you work? What do you charge? What are we doing? These choices should be made. I don't need you just still floating about this. Like, make a decision. That means you cut something off and we're doing this. Run the experiment, 60 days, 90 days. If it's not working, you talk to 50 people, 100 people, and it's not working, let's do something else. But let's just not be in limbo the whole time. Okay. Number 2, what are you saying no to? Certain clients, offers, opportunities, platforms. It's not for you. When you're in the early stage, in motion, you're trying to figure it out. So you might not know that. It's an experiment. But after a while, you should be seeing enough patterns to know that's not for us. We're not doing that. Absolutely not. And now this is CEO energy. This is, look, you tell me we're not vending. We're not vending anymore. Okay, done. No. So that means we got to do something else instead. We got to go harder in the paint on something else. We're going to triple down on something else. What are we saying no to? Number 3, what are you deliberately leaving out? Topics, audiences, services, things that you could do, but it's not in your lane. Now, remember, early stage, you're experimenting, you're not really sure. So try something for 30 days, 60 days. Try it like intentionally with the structure that I'm giving you. And if you're not getting engagement and feedback and nobody's taking a step with you, let's audit and change it. Let's change it out. But after a while, you should have done this enough to know this works. When I do it like this, this works. So the other stuff, we're not doing that. We're focusing on this. Because you have, as an entrepreneur, you have limited resources. You can't be everywhere. You have to channel those resources to get this one thing going. And then you can do something else. Okay. Number 4, what are you against? The methods, philosophies, approaches, ways that other people are doing stuff that you fundamentally disagree with, and you're not doing that. And number 5, what will you never be? These are values. These are what you believe. This is what makes you different from everybody else. Okay, so I will never BS you and tell you what you want to hear and just give you some programming. They literally call it programming. No, I'm not kidding. The entrepreneur thing, they call it programming. And they say, okay, we need some programming so we can re-up our grant next year. So they just go find the Southwest Regional Director of the Bank of the Ozarks from Conyers and put him on a stage. This is not going to help you in any way. You're going to be very bored. You're only there for the free food. They're only there because they need some programming. So nobody's getting anything accomplished. Nobody's making any money. Nobody's learning anything. Nobody's being transformed. So why did you burn? Gas is too high. I will never do that to y'all. So what will you never be? Okay. So actually answer these questions. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to share with nobody, but you need to be really honest, because once you do that, now your bio on your social media profiles, your bio kind of writes itself. You know who you are, you know who you're not, you know what you stand for, you know what makes you unmistakable, undeniable. Your content is going to get sharper because everything we do is just around who we are, what we are about for real. Some days we could take a contrarian take. Most people are doing all of this. We don't do that over here. Let me break it down for you and tell that story today. You know what you want to say, why it matters. Other people doing this, we're doing this. You used to think it was like this, but actually it's this. And that contrast. I don't know if anybody read the book. I've never recommended a book to this group that is not life-changing. The book is called This Is Your Brain on Music. It is the contrast. I talked about this today as well. The contrast between something so basic and so common and so human and so familiar. Martin Luther King did it. Dr. Steve Jobs did it when he would present. I was doing it naturally, and the team that put Steve Jobs up there with the big presentation said, well, you don't need us. You're already doing it. You go from something so familiar and specific, and then you elevate and talk about something so far in contrast to that. It creates motion. It's like, oh my God, now I want to take a step with you. I want to follow you. I want to go somewhere. We don't do marketing. We start movements. So when you know who you are, you know what you stand for, you know what you stand against, you know exactly who you're talking to, you know what to say, you know why it matters, you know how to position it. And when your ideal person finds you, they immediately see themselves. They're like, oh my God, this is my place. You're my person. I had this girl. These are very intelligent people. She's a PhD. She's also an environmental justice warrior or something, which I didn't know. But before she even knew I was in environment, because this is how crazy, this is how dope I am. I just walk in the room. People don't even introduce me anymore. They just say, y'all, we got a special guest. You weren't ready, but you hope you are, because anyway. And then they just say, they don't even say nothing. I just get up, start talking. 15 minutes later, everybody crying, jumping up and down, writing stuff down, passing notes, and tipping, and interrupting the thing, trying to come talk to me. So one of the people came up to me afterwards. She said, I didn't even know what you did. But as soon as you started talking, I said, oh my God, I just found my new mentor. Because I'm so dialed in on the energy, your people should recognize themselves immediately when you start talking. Because you built this brand to be about them, not some corporate fluff, and certainly not some generic AI thing. Like, y'all, we're not hiding. We're not doing that. We don't have to do that. So I know that I'm being very clear. I know I am. But you got to be ruthless, I think is the word that I want to say. Like, it's not for everybody. It's not just floating around. It's not just, oh, you could try a little of this and that. That's not the sound of money. Money sounds like the way I'm talking crazy to you. That's what money is. Oh, we don't do that. Oh yeah, not right now. Maybe we'll look at that again next year. Like, I need you to talk like a CEO. Think like a CEO. Act like an entrepreneur, meaning try new things, run these different experiments, go meet people. You kind of floating around. If you're in the city of Atlanta, I mean, LA is like that to a degree. I don't know. Different cities are different energy. But if you're in Atlanta, you just kind of float around. You just kind of floating around. I met this person and I went over here, and then next thing you know, and then he knew somebody, and then we got a contract. I'm not saying you can't just kind of float around, but I am saying when it comes to making sure you're building an engine that's going to make you some money consistently, don't play with it. Lock in. Not, oh, we could do this, we could do that. It's like, no, this is what we're doing. Today we're here. We're going to expand here. 90 days, we're doing this. After that, we're going to the next market. We're doing CEO. So act like an entrepreneur where you look at your energy, your opportunities and stuff, but think like a CEO. You got to make decisions. You have limited resources, limited time, energy, effort, focus, attention. You can't put it on everything. You got to focus. Okay. Now, once you do that, it's like this. So the old way, you say, it would be cool. I'm trying to make this a go-to resource for, any entrepreneur trying to grow their business, whatever. No, I am the daily destination for brilliant Black entrepreneurs who are done, tired of the inconsistency, and we're ready to normalize making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. We will never be a generic, just like boring business podcast. We will never water down what we're talking about and try to appeal to the masses. Oh, because I want to be on TV, so now I got to talk to white people. No, I don't. I don't have to do that. We will never perform and be corporate and professional. That's what employees do. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to get a job and you want to go and sound corporate. And that's how you learn how to pass the job interview and all that stuff. We threw that out the window. We're no longer employees. We are high value entrepreneurs. So I will never perform some highfalutin, bougie, corporate professionalism at the expense of telling you guys the truth. And you love me for it. You will ride with me for it. You come here at 5 o'clock and we're supposed to be here at 2. Why? Because I don't play about this energy. And I want you to be that for your audience, your community. Okay? I respect y'all so much. I really do. Okay? So you see the difference. One is like warm and vague, but it could be anybody. Who is that? Versus, oh, that's doll. Nobody else does that. Literally no one. There's no question. Okay? So if you got that in your spirit, now it's a capacity issue. Can you hold that energy? Can you embody this energy? You must show up like this. You got to talk like this. You got to walk in your meetings like this. You got to tell your team this is what it is. Tell your partner, your spouse, this is what we're doing. And then that's got to show up in your 5-star pitch and how you talk. Then that's got to show up on your landing page. It's got to show up on your one-pager. It's got to show up on everything you do. It's no question. I said what I said. This is what it is. Not for everybody. That's what we do. This is it. This is why. This is how. The end. Then all of my content needs to point back to that. Put them in the engine and get them going. Every email they get, every public-facing thing needs to sound like this. Okay? So we don't want everybody. This is not for everybody. Apple is not for everybody. If you want a $200 computer to just get the job done so you can send some email and you 79 years old and you just want to see the pictures, they keep sending you all these photos and you can't see the photos because you still got a flip phone. You go down there to Walmart and get you a $200 computer. That's not who Apple is for. Apple, still to this day, is for the graphic designers and the producers. And I would never. You'll be hard pressed to go into any music studio right now and find that they're not running Apple. Why? Because it's different. It's better. Like it doesn't crash. Like I'm not going to lose all my files. Like we don't play about our Apple products. It's not for everybody. And of course, because it's not for everybody, now everybody, the world has it. But that's what I'm telling you. Facebook was not for everybody. It was for Harvard students. We had a physical, actual Facebook. And you go to little freshman events and you go around and I met this person and they cool. And then you would take and write on the thing next to the person you met. Oh, they were cool. And you put a star so you can remember who you met. So you can call them. So y'all can hang out. And then after picture day, it came as a Facebook. It's not for everybody. And then it went from that to all the Ivy League schools. And then it went from that to you had to have a .edu college, you had to be in college. By the time it gets to for everybody, y'all are on step 9. That's step 9 on the roadmap. I just want everybody in the world to be able to experience. Okay, no. No. I need you to do it for this one person first. Okay? Now, so we got the audit. Last thing. I'm still going to be done by 6. I promise you I will. Okay, here we go. So the same principle, you just need to just stick with me. The universal stems from the specific. Okay? So if you tell a story about your work, your business, something you learned or something you accomplished in your business, whatever. But you tell the story and all you give them is the highlight. It doesn't work. So here, listen to what I'm saying. If I say to you, I built my business to 7 figures, and here are the 5 things I learned. That's kind of cool. You would think, oh, that's good, dog. You would think that's why we're elevating. It's day 80. Now I need somebody gonna get to mastery before we finish this 100-day challenge. Listen to what I'm saying. I grew my business to 7 figures, and here are the 5 things I learned. Okay, cool. I read that. I might learn something, and I'm gonna go ahead on and keep going. Versus, I used to be homeless. I went from being homeless to having a 7-figure business, and here's how I did it. Which one is going to be more impactful? Now, I'm not saying you got to tell all your business. My point is you've got to have some emotional context, some contrast, and some specificity in how you talk to people. That's how you're going to get a good story. If you watch the movie and all it was is 2 people falling in love and they just walk around happy, holding hands, the birds are singing, that for 2 hours, you would be like, this movie's terrible. You need emotional context, contrast, and specificity. Who are these people? So first 15 minutes of a movie, you got to relate to them. They're going to show you they overslept, and they're going to hit the alarm, and the music going to come on. They're going to get in the raggedy car. They go drive, through the traffic. Things that you can relate to. They're going to be the baby's running through the house, get ready for school. Things that everybody can relate to. Every movie starts like this. I don't care if it's a superhero movie. This is how they start. Because you got to relate to. So now it's specificity. I know who this person is. Okay, I got some stakes in the game here. You get some emotional context. Okay, they got kids. Okay, they got a dream. What they really want to do in life. You could relate to that some kind of way. So now there's some emotional context. Okay. And then after we know what it is they're going for, they're going to get a what? An obstacle. So now there's contrast. I want to be over here. I'm just a normal person, but now I'm dealing with this. Contrast. The contrast of life. I learned to embrace that for my fiance. So I need you every time. Yes, you have to become a master storyteller. What do you mean? This is how we make money. Emotional context, contrast, specificity. Okay. So now, again, not what happened logically, emotional context. What were you feeling? So when you went through all of your photos, 60 months of photos, that's 5 years. Shout out to LaTanja. She was doing that thing. She said she found something in 2020. That was 6 years. Go back in your phone. I remember the first time that, which I actually don't because I've been on stages my whole life. But let's say this was true. I remember the first time that, I stood in front of a crowd on a stage with 20,000 people. What were you feeling? What was in your chest? What was in your head? What was going through your brain? What were you afraid of? What were you ashamed of? You were pretending to be fine on the outside, but inside what? What was going through? What were you going through? Emotional context. This opens the door for the person listening to the story to be able to enter the story with you. So describing the emotion. The more specific you are, the better. This is what I'm trying to tell you. When you prompt your GPT of choice, say, okay, I want to make a story about this is what happened to me, but I need you to make it so it's emotionally precise, emotionally impactful, specific, textured. What version of scared were you in the moment? Their nervous system is going to immediately recognize it. It's the mirror neurons in their brain are going to fire listening to you or reading your post on LinkedIn. I'm on my phone. I'm going about my day. I'm in my Uber. I'm scrolling and you making me feel something. Connection is the birthplace of all currency. Y'all can do what you want to do. You don't have to do it like this. Don't do it like this. Just do it the generic way. But you'll be like the 98% of people who not going to make no money. I need you to make some money. So you got to wait. Okay. So when you are specific, your body actually says, I know this feeling. I've been in this room. So now they're in there with you. It's just like a movie. Okay. You can do this in a little short, little LinkedIn post, little 90-second Instagram, whatever. Okay. So emotional context. Don't just tell me logically what happened. Tell me what you were feeling as it happened. Number 2, contrast. So give us both ends, the low, the highs and the lows. Okay. Not just where you ended up, not just how people post on LinkedIn. Look at me, I got an award. Look at me. I'm here. Or how they post on Instagram. Look at me. I'm in Belize. You know what I'm saying? Give me the journey. Not just where you ended up, but where you started. The before and the after. Okay. The gap between the two is where the power is. That's where the motion is. That's where the money resides. It's the delta. It's why there's a triangle, a pyramid on the back of your dollar. They call it a delta for a reason. There's a gap between here and here. In that gap is the energy that is transferred. Money is just energy. It's currency. It can't flow if there's nowhere for it to go. You're going from here to here. Problem state, solution state. I started here, and now I'm here. Started from the, and now it's the gap. What happens between a caterpillar? I can hang up this phone. Y'all, what happens between a caterpillar and a butterfly? How did he get off the ground and now he's flying and all type of things are going on? What happened? It's the cocoon. Your product, service, solution, whatever it is you're trying to sell, lives in the cocoon. But so your storytelling needs to show the gap. Here's the problem, feeling like this, going through this. It was struggle out here. I felt like this. I remember that time when I woke up and realized, wow. When I got the divorce papers back and wow. The doctor left the room and I had to sit with this diagnosis. Oh my God. This is really happening to me. All of that emotion. And then contrast it with now, because I done learned some things and did some things, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here winning, striving, thriving, and found loving my life, whatever your story is, okay? I need the contrast. Martin Luther King did it. If you go back and study the I Have a Dream speech, he would go something so basic, common, and memorable, and then take you to something that's we've never seen before. He would go, I want all my 4 babies, you know? So you're relating to the 4 little kids, little babies, to be able to what? Be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. It became aspirational. You were like, hold on. So my baby too can walk in the world and not be judged by the color of their skin. Everybody followed this man because he did what I'm teaching you how to do right now, but I'm yelling. I'm the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever. Okay. You need the low and the high. Okay. So you need to be your stuff on the street when they put you out on the street, and then 20 months later, you had $1 million company. I need both of those in the story. Because that gap, the specific distance between those 2 moments, the fact of the person that had to carry that energy and figure it out, and they'll say, if you could do it, I could do it too. All right. And then number 3, you need the specificity. Denzel done told y'all. Apparently he told Michael B. Jordan this too. I didn't know this till the other day. Okay. The universal stems from the specific. The more precise you are, the detail. How much money did you owe if you're telling this story? How many months behind were you on your rent? How many days was it before whatever was going to happen? They said you had 6 months to live. I was 79 pounds overweight. Whatever it was. I'm trying to make up stuff. I don't know. Whatever y'all stories are that you're telling. What did you help your client with? They were struggling with this, it. Your client had da 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 da. They were going through this. The doctor said they had this. And after they did what? Then they had this outcome. The more specific you are, the specific day of the week, the specific color of the whatever in your storytelling, the more specific you are, the reader will their brain is going to put themselves in that story with you. The more vague you are, it creates distance. So like I told y'all, when I'm on an airplane and somebody doing a little too much, they've been looking at me across the room for quite some time, and then we get on the plane and I'm trying to go to sleep and I'm not trying to talk to you, and they done made their way across the aisle and come, hey, so what do? You know what I'm going to say? I'm in technology. And I'm going to put my headphones on and turn it around and go head on. I don't want to talk to you for the next 4 hours while I'm trying to get back from the West Coast. So we're not doing that. Vagueness creates distance. Specificity is what connects us. So that's why I told y'all, when you learn your 5-star pitch, somebody asks you what you do, you don't say what you do. You say why you do what you do. You create, you build the world for them to walk into with you. If you wanted to go somewhere, you shut them down when you don't want to talk to them. It's not easy walking around 6 foot tall in heels, walking in this world. So I know what I'm talking about. Vagueness creates distance. Specificity connects. So a general story is just abstract and, okay, that was cute. Yay. A specific story creates an experience. Whoever reads it, whoever listens to it is going to have an experience with you. That is a connection point. And connection is the birthplace of all currency. You got to do that. You got to get good at it. Okay. So emotional context. What were you feeling? Make sure. So when you write a story in a post and whatever you're doing, make sure you got these 3 things. Emotional context. What were you actually feeling? The specific emotion located in your body. You felt it in your chest. You felt it in your throat, felt tight. You were sweating. Something. Describe what you were feeling like when this was going on. Number 2, contrast. Give us both, the highs and the lows. Make sure you got that in your story. The moment before, the moment after, because that's where transformation, people believe you. Y'all have stories to tell. Things that you've done and things that you've seen your clients go from this to this. And most of you are not putting that on your social media pages. But this is what creates motion. Makes people want to lean and take an action. And money follows motion. Okay? So number 1, emotional context. Number 2, contrast. Number 3, specificity. Every story has one detail that makes it unmistakably real. Why y'all think I get on here talk about my hair? Child, look, and I start talking about my mama, and shout out to Miss Dolly. And I'm saying all these very specific things. Because I'm a real person. I'm a whole person. I'm not just like, oh, she's Harvard or she's Googled and no. I've been through the buck, the bar. I do this. I'm telling you, this is how it works. This is how you go from, I'm just a regular person from a regular place. All y'all are brilliant, so that's not it. But I'm a regular person from a regular place. And boom, now I got an engine that makes me money on purpose where I don't have to worry about it. It's money being made all the time. Okay, so the exact words, the exact words somebody said, Jane Fonda looking at me crazy. I'm sitting up in her office in the CNN tower. And I'm 17 years old. What do I know? And I had all these music scholarships and I got all these academic scholarships and all type of things. And they done picked me out and cast me as Diana Ross. And I'm doing all of this. And she says, send her up. I want to meet her. Send her to my office. So I go up. She was married to Ted Turner at the time. Go up to the office. Sit down. The top of CNN tower before they got rid of it. Across the street. Y'all been in my office. Right across the street before CNN moved. And she said, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, they're trying to sign me to Ford models. And, they offered us a record deal. And, I got all these academic scholarships. And I don't know. My mom wants me to go to college. I don't know what I want to do. And she got all her movie posters now behind her. I'm talking about she done won 2 Oscars. I'm talking about every movie she ever been in. It's all behind her. Just sitting on the thing. If y'all don't know who Jane Fonda is, some people, this new generation don't even know. This you don't get no more famous than this lady. Okay. And so I'm telling her, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. I'm 17. What do I know? And she looked at me just like I'm looking at you. I'm looking at her, she's looking at me. We both looking at each other. And you know what she said to me? Who said you had to choose? Now, when a two-time Oscar winner tell you could do whatever you want to do, you tend to believe her. This is why I am the way that I am. My mom already told me, you know what I'm saying? My mom already told me or whatever. But you know what I mean? But you see the specificity in that story. I told you exactly what she said. So get specific, y'all, in your storytelling. Don't just be like, yeah, I can't even do a fake. I'm a great storyteller, so I can't even do the bad version of it. But you know what I'm saying. Okay. So we just did an audit. We know what's in our brand. We know what we represent. We know what we're about. We know what we're not going to do, what we're never going to stand for, and who we're here for. Now we got a way to tell a specific story. Make sure everything that you do, you audit it against this. It needs to sound so specific. Now people will be saving and following and subscribing because you tell stories in a way that nobody else can replicate. They will feel seen, heard, understood. I got to make action. I got to take an action. I got to do something. I got to send it to somebody. I got to call somebody. I got to do something. Okay. AI can write a story about perseverance and resilience. But it cannot write a specific story about that specific time when you were at the bottom of your barrel and you specifically found and climbed your way out. Only you could tell that story. Okay? So you have to have constraints on your brand, what you stand for, what you represent. This is what we're doing, da, da, da. Now your stories, your content strategy, what you're posting on social media every day should be the proof that your brand is what you said it was. Stories about proof. This is what I experienced. This is what my clients experienced. I saw this on the news and it made me think about this. I learned this from this. I want to tell you a story about this. And I just told you how to make your stories pop, jump off the page. So whether you're writing them out in Substack, LinkedIn post, whether you're doing video on Instagram, it don't matter. If you got a podcast, it's all the same. This is how you make sure that people can't get enough. And they're like, I need to be in the next one. I don't know. Oh my God, I missed it. I got to go catch up. I need to see what's going on. I'm saving. I'm trying to figure it out. I want to get involved. Okay. And if you have more people coming in, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this. And get on your conveyor belt that we've been building. And then they get on your email list and then they go from that to something else. And then they keep going down the thing. You will always have transactions coming out the other side. This is how you turn a human interaction into a transaction. And this is how you build an engine that does that for you on autopilot. So you'll never not make money. I'm done. I am done. Anybody got questions, comments, concerns, challenges, perspective, feedback, and personal story time before we go? I'm so excited y'all joined me for my first live at 5. This has been cool. It's been cool. Anybody? Before we go? Before I let go. Look, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Y'all, I will get off this phone. Yes, I will.
Thank you for the clarity. It means a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. I really do. So you know what? The more clarity we have, the more money we're gonna make. That's just what it is. Clarity. I wonder if anybody can finish this. It's 4 blanks in this sentence. Clarity leads to what? And that leads to what? And then that to what? Does anybody know? I owe Destin and Latondra a prize. I didn't forget. I told y'all like 2 months ago you won a prize because you answered some random question in the WhatsApp. It's a good prize. No, nobody know. Okay, so let me tell you, and then we're gonna be gone. Clarity leads to confidence. Full confidence. I know what I said. I said what I said. I'm going to put, yes, the 5 questions, Desta. I will make sure they're in the resource document so you can audit your brand clarity. Clarity. Oh, wait. Treska, are you answering the question? You got something else?
or something else.
Okay, good. Hold on one second. So clarity leads to confidence. That means I know what I'm doing. I said what I said. I don't really care who, y'all figure it out. Clarity leads to confidence. Confidence breeds connection. Why? Because you're in the present moment. And connection is the birthplace of all currency. So if you get this clarity, you're gonna make some money. You're welcome. Go ahead, Jessica. Go for it.
Thank you, Dog. You had given me more clarity because I was thinking I needed to just remove some of my list, but I realized I need to segment better, even for the high ticket packages I want to do. I just need to segment some of the ones who will fit that particular category.
There you go. Because some of them got the money and want to invest in themselves. Maybe they feel weird about therapy. Maybe they tried therapy before and didn't work. I've had a counselor before told me I was the problem. I'm like, hold on. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't just go back to jump into therapy. So it could be people who have, more disposable income, but don't really feel comfortable kind of having a traditional therapy situation. And you're creating a community in a space where they can still find healing. That's very valuable. But that's not the same as somebody who can't really pay their rent right now, but they also need healing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different, to your point. Absolutely. It's a different segment of your audience.
And I also thought about just saying it's peak performance coaching because they all want the same thing as far as achieving all of their goals in every area.
I like that. Wow. And so now that makes it even better because you're basically offering one thing at different price points. So it's like with a super duper intense, however you would do a higher ticket item, that's for people who can afford that. For people who ain't got it, $20 membership or something, you know what I'm saying? $20 monthly membership or whatever, and then some kind of middle tier where they're paying for, an event or experiences and stuff like that. But it's still one thing that you're offering from your standpoint. I like that.
Okay, thank you. And Victor said hello and that he hopes to see you when he comes back.
Hey, Victor. Hey, from Chicago.
Thank you, Dog.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Anybody else? Y'all, I believe in y'all. We're going to listen. This money shall be made. Because what do you mean? Of course it is. I said what I said, and that's what it is. If you are lined up and locked in and doing what you need to do, it's impossible for you to not make money. It's actually impossible. So if all hearts and minds are clear.
Hey, Dog, I got a quick question.
Hey, Destin.
And if you don't have an answer to this immediately in 10 seconds, think about it and hit me back with it on a different day.
All right.
But I've been under the impression or kind of under thinking that for my targets, LinkedIn is my preferred medium. But I also feel like I want to create a YouTube space, but I'm not sure how to approach that for this audience and this, the topics that I'm discussing. So I was looking for guidance on A, to do that or not, and B, how to approach that if in fact it's necessary.
Do that. Yes, your instincts are right. Yes, do that. LinkedIn is how they're going to meet you. YouTube is where they're going to spend all the time and go down the rabbit hole with you. So YouTube is your archive. It's longer videos. I can go back 2 years and 6 months before and watch, at 2:00 in the morning. LinkedIn is, I'm just seeing you for the first time and I'm seeing there's value and you taking me to your email list. So you would do both. I agree with that.
Good. Now, how about a specific YouTube? I have another YouTube where I'm more general and I kind of go at the intersection of still being specific and being into it, establishing foundations, but it varies from athletically specific, mentally specific, financially specific in those realms. It doesn't specifically talk about founders the way I do on LinkedIn. So would you?
Well, I would add a layer of founder stuff in there.
In that same YouTube that already existed.
Think of it like an experiment, yes.
Okay.
But don't stop doing what you were doing, especially if it was working. But just run that experiment, see how you could tie it together. Because I do know a lot of people that have more than one YouTube channel, and that's okay too. But you got to just run an experiment and really see. Because if you find that you're able to make better long form content that's specific for your founders, you could do that on a separate channel. You could also do collabs, like with another YouTube channel just for your founders, right? And do it that way. But just right now, put it on the same channel, run it as an experiment, and get you a body of work that's really. You could create another channel now and collab with that channel and create founder specific content and, you know, direct your audience to it. Yeah. There's several ways to do it.
I definitely see a window for overlap, but I'm just trying to figure out when it's not overlapping, what do I do with that?
Yeah. So you meditate on it, but your instincts are right. Like just keep leaning in that direction. But they do need a place where they can, okay, I heard this, I saw this was cool. But if they want some longer form time, even if you're doing webinars or live events, where does that live? It can't live on LinkedIn. It has to live on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the way to think about it. Great question.
All right. Thank you.
Y'all, let's go. It's Saturday. Hopefully somebody's still going to do some work tonight. Let's go. Let's go do something and talk to some humans and, you know, post some things. And I don't know. Plan your week and stuff like that. So we're going to plan our week together tomorrow. I'll be back regular 2:00 as of tomorrow. No, don't. Everybody's okay. We're okay. But I know how much of a shift this is to go from, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to try this, I don't know, to like, yeah, this is how I make money. I go here, do this, that's what it is. I said what I said, hit the button, my car turns on. I wake up, the sun comes up. I have a business, I post, I make money. But we're here now. So let's just hold the energy. Ask me any questions. Tomorrow's going to be Ask Me Anything type of day. And we're going to plan our week together. I want to hear some of y'all stories. If you come up with a story that's like really specific and you think I'm working on this emotional context and the specificity and the contrast and dolls telling me this and this and this, is this too much? Am I saying too much in my story? Bring all that tomorrow. Okay. So I'll see y'all at 2:00. Until then, I gotta go. We out. Pew!